Okay, now let's go to the assignment number 3, 3-1. So it's the first part of assignment 3. First of all, let's get what's the time. What's the time? Build a Python script that tells you the current time. Okay, so first step, create a new script called currenttime.py in Jupyter or text editor. So what we do is I did it in Jupyter, so it's here. So this is my assignment list. It's here. Let's open it. So this is a script I wrote, and then add a doctrine to the script that explain it and what it does. So I have built a function, I built a main function, and I put the doctrine inside of the main function. So in this case, when I run, let's say, if I start to, if I import this, I start run this script in Jupyter. This is how you run it. The percentage run in Jupyter. In your local computer, it might be different. And we print the main.doc. Then we'll print the doctrine. So doctrine is out. This function tells that user about the current time, which is what I wrote here. This function tells the user about the current time in the triple double quote. Okay, let's go back. So now import the time and date time module. So how to import the module? We just need to use a keyword input. So import date time. So that's how we import this module inside of this script. And then in order to get the date and time, we just need to call the method, the module. I'm not sure, it's probably a class anyway. So you're gonna call the data time inside of the data time we imported, and we need dot now. This is a function, or you can call it also a method. So we call this one and return it. It's gonna return us the current time. Let's run it. So I run the main inside of my script, and now I give the time, the return value to time. Now I print time. I should be able to get the time. Now give me 1 second. Let's just make it more clear. Now I have the time 2021 6 14 12th of June. Okay, now you might know that I'm late for my assignment, but anyway, okay, let's see. Print the result. Okay, I have done it. Great. Get current time using. Okay, of course I've done that just now. Export. Execute it. Okay. Yeah, I've executed it. Input time into Python console and check if console output does not print time. Huh. Interesting. I'm not sure about how to do the last one, but it's not important. Okay. I might figure it out later. Let's go to the second question. Formatting customer names. Okay, suppose we have built a customer relationship. Okay, CRM. Okay, I use it all the time. And you want to display a user record in the following format. John Smith. Okay, cool. So I need the name of the client and where they located in the bracket. Okay. However, if you don't have a location in your system, you just want to see John Smith, create a format customer. Okay, I see. So a function. So how do we declare a function? We just use define keyword and followed by the function name you want to give. So we call it format customer as requested, and then we use the curly braces, and we input all the arguments inside, parameters inside. So those ones are the inputs, and these are the function name. So we have the first name of the client and the second name and the last name of the client, and then we have the location of it. But we use a equal sign to default the location to empty string. So the location, if there is no location, if the user of this function did not put the location inside, the location can be default to be empty string. So the result, I will be just concat these two strings together. So the result will be equal to first name as space as last name. We can print that. No, we don't need to do that now. And let's go through it. So if the location is equal to empty string, which means probably the user didn't put in a location, so it's default to be empty string, or the user just put in an empty string. In both cases, the location doesn't exist. In this case, if we do not equal to, okay, if location not equal to empty string, then we result will equal to the result plus curly bracket, open one, and the location and the close brackets. So it will become like something like this format, John Smith, California. Otherwise, if there's nothing here, if it's equal to the empty string, then we just return the result, which is just the first name and last name. Okay, let's run it. Let's call it. Oh, I need to call this right. Format. Let's call the function. Customer. Wait, am I spelling around now? Sijie. That's my first and last name. Let's run it. I'm spelling around. I did not. I have to run this one first, of course. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, because this was supposed to be string instead of, without without the single quote, which indicates them they are string. I was putting like the text here, which Python will understand it as it's a variable, but there's no variable called Sijie, so that's why the mistake happened, the error happened. So let's put my name here and let's run it. This time it should work. So it just prints. Otherwise, if I put the location, let's say NYC here, then I'll get my name and the NYC, which is exactly the format you want it. Okay. Now the third question, Fibonacci. Fibonacci is working in the IT firm, and your colleagues realize computer animated Fibonacci. Okay, cool. So let's create a Fibonacci file, which I have already did. It's also in the Jupyter. Sorry, not this one. Let's close it, just to avoid confusion in the future. Here. Okay, this is a file I created. I already wrote something inside. So define a Fibonacci iterative function that takes single positive argument, represent which number you want to return. Which number return? Which number return? Okay, cool. Yeah, so yeah, this is it. We can probably use it, but doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We can always put it in here. So this is the function I will define it. We'll use diff and the function name and the argument, which is single one, which is index, which is just the number that you want. And run this code from. Okay, cool. From input iterative. So you should get it full. Okay, cool. Yeah. So this is how we import. So because we just we're trying to import this function, so we're from the file because we're in the same root, so we can just use from the file. We input this function, and we can just now call this function. I'll call this function by 3. Then I'll get 2, and now if I call by 10, I'll get 55. That's all because I have wrote this function. So yeah, the function is here. I didn't explain it, but it doesn't matter. It's already working, so it must be right. The Fibonacci function in the recursion. Okay, now we want a recursion. So what a recursion means? Recursion means in the function it can call itself. So we define function, and we can call this function inside this function. Okay, so how we do it? It's applied for Fibonacci because Fibonacci is built. The current Fibonacci is built. It's built from the previous 2 Fibonacci numbers. So Fibonacci 2 is equal to Fibonacci 1 plus Fibonacci 2. Oh, sorry, 0. There's no Fibonacci 0, so let's do this. So Fibonacci 5 equal to Fibonacci 3 plus Fibonacci 4. So in this case, because basically the number is like 1, 1, 2, 3, I guess, 5, 8, I think. Isn't it? Let me try it. So number 6, 0.8. Yeah, I think I'm right. Yeah, so I was do right. So yeah, that's so very easy. So if I want to get Fibonacci, let's say 10, it's if I'm getting something that's less than 2, okay, then it's always going to be 1. The first 2 is 1, and otherwise, then I'm going to try to calculate. If let's say I'm trying to calculate 6, I'm going to try to calculate 6 minus 1, which is 5, and then we'll try to calculate uh, Fibonacci 4, which is 3, and then we add them together, we get 6. So that's why it's perfectly matching the recursion here. So that's how we define it. That's how we run it. We can do it getting the same number, 50. Come on, let's run this. Run this. Okay, nice. So this question, this assignment's done. Let's go to the assignment 3-2.